got that. Right. Oh, thank you. Right, that's a single room from tonight for 2 nights. Yes. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Have a single room for me and a single room for my elephant, please. And we don't mind sharing the same bath.
Certainly, sir. Would your elephant like a bale of hay in bed in the morning?
Yes, and the Jungle Times.
You know, you don't look a bit like Sabu to me. You look very much more like a gentleman called Ken Barlow.
I know him well, a fellow of infinite jest.
Oh, no, he wouldn't jest. Not about elephants.
You're right, you know, you're absolutely right. If I came in here as Kenneth Barlow and not Sabu, I would simply say, hello, Yvonne.
Hello, Ken.
I've got a free period this afternoon.
Oh, lucky you.
And seeing as it's your afternoon off, I thought we'd go out to lunch, and then we walk, handy and little handy, between the freshly painted keep off the grass signs in the park and feed the freshly painted ducks.
Sorry. The manager's gone to Scarborough, catering exhibition, and he's asked me to stay on.
Oh, well, in that case, can you lend me a little page boy's uniform? I'll stand here and chat to you and maybe get a few tips on the side.
Well, you could lean on the counter and talk about dog biscuits.
Come again?
Well, the men who come here and chat me up, they're either in dog biscuits or office equipment.
Ah, it's a pity you didn't say in ladies' underwear, then I could have come out with a stock answer. Well, I'll see you later.
Right. Yes, sir?
Right, well, that's understood then. If Jerry comes back here, he comes back as a workman, and both you and me have got the right to fire him if he steps out of line, right?
Right. I don't think Jerry would want it any other way.
Oh, he's a Queen Scout, that lad. Trouble is, how do we get rid of the overgrown wolf cub?
Well, that's up to you, isn't it? I mean, you two stand on.
Well, I think it's up to you. You want Jerry.
Both together.
You see, I want a fire stand, but I don't want to be seen firing him, if you know what I mean, which I'm sure you don't.
Jerry might not want to come back.
Oh, of course he'll want to come back.
Don't be too certain.
Oh, don't be so naive. Why do you think he's hanging about? What do you think he'd come back up here for, like a flipping dog what's been kicked? You hold out a piece of meat, mate, he'll bite your flaming arm off.
You're wrong, you know. Especially if that bit of meat happens to be a big fat rump steak like Stan Ogden.
Yeah, the Queen Scout bit again.
Did I catch my name?
You take it from me, mate, it's not worth catching.
I just wondered if you were in the Scouts, Stanley.
British Legion, till I punch up with the barman, you know. Hang on a second, mate.
Excuse me, madam, I'm HM Customs. Is it perfume in that bag?
It's that load of scrap we got on the last job, you know. I thought I'd give it to Tommy Deacon, huh?
Oh, you were in the Scouts, then?
British Legion.
Is there aught else you'd like to give to Tommy Deacon while you're at it, Stan?
Well, don't suppose his donkey'd say no to one of your sarnies. Ta.
You know, this'd be all right if he had baggy check trousers and a big red false nose and a tie what spun round and this was a flaming circus, but it's a business and we're trying to survive.
Right, I'll tell him Friday.
Oh, be swift and merciful. What's wrong with tonight?
No, we better make sure what Jerry's doing first.
Oh, don't tell me we're going to be short-handed when Stan's gone. We might even be able to catch up on some back work.
Don't lay it on, mate. He's good for some things.
Yeah, like Tommy Deacon's donkey, lugging, only Tommy Deacon's donkey lives on hay.
And egg butties. Friday.
Right, how'd you get for it?
Ah, there wasn't enough to whack round, you know. Then what I'll do, I'll buy you 2 a pint the Rovers, eh?
Well, seeing as how it's our money, I think you're being over-generous, Stanley.
Oh, well, I'll start again.
Again?
I was there earlier.
Oh, yes, he was in around about 8:30 time, you know, 9:30.
Ah, so I met Tommy Deacon coming back, you know.
Well, are you going to ask him why he's come back, or shall I?
She hadn't got one.
She hadn't got one. I knew there'd be a simple explanation.
Well, that woman in Palmerston Street, there's doors coming off the hinges, you know. Screwdriver.
You forgot it.
Well, let's say I didn't remember, eh? Anyway, I'll get cracking now. What's up with you two?
Oh, nothing, Stanley, nothing. We're very pleased. You've just proved something to us.
Oh, well, that's all right then, isn't it? Ta-da.
Take a 10-ton weight, will that?
We don't get much call for 10-ton drinks.
Only I've sunk the hinges, like.
They probably deserved it.
Because I noticed that a few wine glasses had got knocked over now and again when they caught on the raised hinges.
You think about everything, you, don't you?
Well, where my work's concerned, I try.
Oh. Do you never think about other things?
Oh, frequently.
Like taking somebody out, for instance?
Well, occasionally.
But you're not thinking about it just at the moment?
Well, not as I can think of.
Oh. You've never met anybody around here since you come back that you fancied taking out, is that it?
Well, I haven't really thought. That grain will come up a treat with a bit of varnish, you know.
I think you've got the wrong fella.
What are you on about?
Well, he's not like that lorry driver you had last year, you know, flush with money. He's signing on.
Why are you always speaking out of turn, Hilda?
Because there's times when it needs doing. Like I'd be speaking out of turn if I was to say him doing that foreigner is doing my stand out of a job. Could have done that as good as you know. Better.
I'm sure he could, Mrs. Ogden.
Tea up, everybody.
Put it down on here, Miss Nugent. We'll test it.
I hope you didn't mind me calling round this morning.
Oh, no. How pleased you did.
Only after the drayman had banged the crates down on it.
Oh, it's been going for months, has that. I distinctly remember Albert Tatlock putting his money down on it for the first time in his life and it cracked.
Mrs. Walker won't mind if I pay you. How much?
Oh, no, I'll tell Mr. Firkle. He'll send a bill.
But, Jerry,
Well, you came round to his house to have the job done, you see, so I'll tell him, he'll send a bill and then he'll pay me the going rate.
Oh, is that to get in their good books then? Only I'd call it creeping.
I'm not bothered what folk think about me, good or bad. It's what I think about myself as matters, Mrs. Ogden. I'll have that tea now, please, Miss Nugent.
There you are, Jerry. Best things in life are still free.
Thank you.
Aren't you having any then?
Oh, I'm taking it up to Lucille. Oh, I know I shouldn't, but after everything else having failed, I'm trying kindness.
One down a treat, is this?
Oh, hello, Mrs. Walker.
I
thought I'd come back a day early. Oh, yes, it's been cracked a long time.
The drayman gave it the coup de grace.
Oh, that should last for months.
Aye, donkey's years, in fact. I've got to go down to the corner shop to get something, so I'll see you later.
Thank you, Jerry.
Hang on, Jerry. I want something from there, too.
Oh, right.
Oh, I don't know why, Mrs. Walker. I appear to have made an extra cup.
You must be a mind reader, dear. I had what British Railway laughingly call a cup of tea, a pennyworth of hot water in a hideous piece of plastic. The only expensive thing about it was the price. That's better.
Good. Has the postman been this morning, Mrs. Ogden?
Oh, yeah. A gas bill and a phone bill for Mrs. Walker and a letter from Billy, also for Mrs. Walker.
Good.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. Never mind, Chuck. Perhaps you'll get your bills later.
Is spreading something, Emily?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
How's Lucille?
Oh, she's doing fine. Yes, fine.
Oh, I am glad. You know, I hoped that being away might bring it home to her that someday she has got to stand on her own 2 feet.
Yes.
Oh, where's that flaming tea?
It's your bar of chocolate and your razor blades.
Thank you.
Hey, that's just right. You wouldn't happen to be anonymous north of England, would you? Come up on the pool.
I wish I flipping were.
I thought you were coming in.
Ah, well, now you just see me going out, Mrs. Sharples.
I wouldn't mind borrowing them muscles of yours for a minute. The council's just dumped a big tea chest full of something and I can't get in or out.
Oh, I'll come and shift it for you.
I don't know what's in it. Knowing the council, it's probably gas masks 30 years late. I'll take a loaf while I'm here if it's new.
Took from its mother this very morning.
Well, I'll be off then.
Oh, would you like this? Only it's not the kind I wanted.
Well, I'll change it for you then.
No, it's all right. If you buy a thing, you buy a thing. It's the nuts. They go in between my teeth.
It's very nice of you, Jerry. Ta.
Yeah, then, according to this wrapper, this won a gold medal in Brussels in 1932. Or at least one of its ancestors did.
Doing the spot this morning, then?
Aye, an hour, like, just at the Rovers.
Well, it's cash.
Well, it's not just the cash, Mrs. Sharples, it's the job, being a man again.
Hi, Jerry. Mrs. Sharples.
Hello.
Whenever there are 2 or more people gathered together to talk about work, you can be sure my daddy'll join them. It's more than just an hobby with him, it's a way of life.
Work?
Talking about it.
That's a 4-letter word. Give us 10 fags our kid, will you? I'll never get this job finished, you know. It's a good job that woman's at work, otherwise she might check me hours.
Work doesn't make you feel like a man, then.
I'm jiggered, fit for nout.
Except supping.
Even that's a bit of an effort these days. Wish I was in your shoes, mate.
Oh, my dad's very strong-willed, aren't you, Dad? I mean, he's fought against hard work all his life. A lesser man, he'd have give up the struggle long ago. Isn't that right, Dad?
Oh, shut up.
It's a fact, is that?
Yeah. Yeah, sir. So,
Look, today's the 18th. How about the 25th?
25th. I just have to check. Just a minute. Yeah? Yeah, that's all right.
Make that a definite date, then.
Definite date.
Dog biscuits?
Hello, Ken.
Hello, Alf. Or office furniture?
Post office.
Oh, yeah, selling mailbags, eh?
Mr. Roberts is the branch organiser for the Post Office Union, and they've held their meetings here for several years. So he's just fixing up a date. All right.
No, that's his story. He's chatting you up.
He's right. I've been found out. 25th, then.
Do you feel like a drink?
No, thanks, Ken. I've got to get round to St. Ina's mission and pick up some sports equipment. Then I shall be popping into the Rovers. Thanks all the same. He's given me an idea, though. I might just pop in and chat you up when his back's turned. Ta-ra!
Yeah.
Jealous.
Curses, she knows.
I'm going to take you up on your word about doing this spot of work. Can you sort of hold the fort while I go and check room 16?
Right, certainly. Could I see your marriage licence, please, Mr. and Mrs. Smith? How's that?
Very tactful. You don't mind my leaving you, do you?
Why should I?
Well, there might be a fella upstairs in room 16 waiting for me.
Well, I just trust you, don't I?
You don't remember, do you?
What?
That was your room.
Oh.
Mr. Robertson.
Oh, yes.
And this is Mrs. Robertson.
Hello.
We're expected.
A young lady's voice took it.
Ah, right. Well, let's have a look then. What name was it? Oh, yes, Robertson, wasn't it? Let's see now. Yes, here we are. Room 14.
Are you the manager?
No, I'm just a friend of the establishment. The young lady will be down in a minute. She's just tidying up some rooms.
Oh, right.
You realise the time, Lucille?
Yeah, Radio 1 keeps telling me.
Is that all you have to do, listen to Radio 1?
What is there to life but Radio 1?
There is making something of it.
Why bother? You only die when you've made it. Oh, I'm sorry, Auntie Anna.
You could pay your way and not sponge.
Sponge?
That's what I said.
You don't get very much on the dole, you know. Ask Jerry Booth.
I know. And when you first came out of work, I didn't ask you for anything towards your keep. But now, well, it seems to amuse you being out of work. Well, don't let me spoil your fun, Lucille. But I expect you to start paying me your normal contributions again.
Well, I haven't got it on me, not right now.
I didn't ask for it right now. It'll do when you get your dole.
Don't worry, Auntie Annie. I don't want anybody's charity.
You see, mate? That is a dovetail joint.
He probably thinks that's the name of a nightclub.
I have heard of a dovetail joint.
But you see, the difference is he can actually make them.
Oh, you had to, like, at school. It's best ordered, joining two pieces of wood together.
Now, I would have said a screw, but there is a school of thought, of course, the Stanley Ogden School, which holds that a 6-inch nail beats the lot.
Honestly, when you look at finish playing Ring a Ring a Roses, trap and Pazakay.
What's up with him?
Why, heck, there's some happy smiling faces around this place today. What's up with her? On there.
Aren't you joining Emily Nugent today, then?
I don't think she wants anybody to join her.
I think she was expecting a card from Ernie Bishop, an atmosphere of Spanish or something.
I think you're right. I want you to do something.
If I can.
Oh, you can?
Then I will.
Well, I've got something in this envelope that I want you to put your name to. Read it, put your name to it, and pass it on.
What do you know, love?
It would appear so.
Little Miss Muffet, eh?
Beg your pardon?
She sat on a tuffet. There came a big spider and sat down.
Oh, yes, I have heard it.
What's up, love?
If you really must know, I'm fed up.
You look it.
It's my birthday.
Oh, I know what you mean. Another year older.
Of course, no doubt he has other interests. I knew this would happen.
Oh, Ernest. Well, where is he?
Spain, as far as I know.
Right, sup up.
Pardon?
If you can't be in Spain with him, do the next best thing. Eat Spanish food. Not that I know a Spanish restaurant, but there is a new Italian one just opened up the other side of the park. So get your clogs on. You're going with me for your birthday treat.
But I couldn't.
Don't worry about depriving me. I'll charge up to the council, entertaining a very important person.
It would seem I'm going out to lunch with Mr. Roberts.
Hey, you want to watch it, you'll be getting yourself talked about.
That's very crafty, that, you know, Jerry, leaving a job unfinished so that you can come back after closing time.
Give up.
Very clever, that, you know.
You have me one now, Jerry?
No, Tom.
Come on, it's not charity. Put it down as commission.
No, I'd one just for you come in, like.
Aye, and then he started singing and trying to pick a fight.
I wanted to wait and see about the job. Oh, aye.
Yeah, well, I'll see you at the house later, eh?
Did you have have any inquiries?
Nothing very much, no. A shower load of executives arrived, but I told them we were full up and sent them to the Salvation Army. Oh, and a chap from the TUC rang up and said they'd like to use this place next year instead of Blackpool. It wasn't very funny, really, was it?
No, not really.
Anything wrong?
Oh, the Robertsons, the couple that have just booked in.
Yeah, one thing's for sure, they've never stayed in a hotel before.
No, their faces fell when they saw the 2 single beds. Do you know, she followed me out into the corridor and said they'd not slept apart since the day they were married. Poor things.
Oh, come on, can't do them any harm, sleep apart for a couple of nights.
Oh, no, it's not that. They're from Durham. Their daughter's run away from home. And they've heard she's in this area. So they've come to make inquiries.
I thought the Durham police would have done that.
Well, they didn't think of that when their daughter left.
I don't see why not. It seems the logical thing to do.
Did you do the logical thing the night that you came here?
You're a fool, Jerry.
Ah, I am at that.
Do you think Stan would do any different if it was the other way around?
Oh, look, I know what Stan Ogden thinks, but I'm not him, am I?
No, who is?
No, look, what Stan thinks is right for him. What I think's right is right for me, but well, it's not for me to judge, is it?
You ought to be in the pulpit with Ernie Bishop.
Am I disturbing you?
No.
Darling, you are.
I'm so glad.
Oh, do you like a cup of tea, love?
I daren't, Jerry. If a woman's in this house longer than 5 minutes, police lob tear gas in. Here, open it, sign it, put something in it and pass it on.
Lifeboats are lame dogs.
It's a chain letter started by Ina Sharples. Break the chain and she'll put a curse on you. Tra. See you, Jerry.
Get on.
Hey up, lad, she fancies you, you know.
Oh, girl.
Hey, regular wage packet, back seat at the Odeon, hot dogs at disco, eh? Hey?
Oh, put a sock in it, mate.
Well, look, you know I couldn't take it, Len, don't you? Well, don't you?
I suppose so.
I don't want to cut Stan Ogden's throat.
I'm telling you, Stan, he were doing a job in the pub this morning. Wouldn't take no cash for it, oh no. Said it had to go on a bill and he'd get paid normal rates.
Well, that could mean out, couldn't it?
What have I always said?
You've always said a lot of things, ma'am.
Still waters run deep, that's what I've always said.
Oh, you have, yes, you have.
It's not a laughing matter. My livelihood's threatened.
Well, there's always the dole.
As a last resort.
Oh, I forgot. I mean, my dad wouldn't really like to spend his days getting up late in the morning, would he? And backing horses, playing darts in the Rovers till the racing results come through.
Where you after?
To resign.
You're flaming nuts.
I flaming am.
He flaming is, ma'am, unless you stop him.
I'm stopping him. Now, look here. You're going to hang on to that job, Jerry Booth or no Jerry Booth, else I'll make your life flipping unbearable.
And she can, you know, Dad.
I should know.
Yeah, we're going round to tackle that young man right now in the Rovers.
Hello, Mrs. Hogden. How nice to see you. Hey, you never told me your Stan had a twin brother. Delighted to meet you, sir. You see, it must be your father's twin brother because your dad is at this very moment doing a job in Dean Road. It was your father, but I didn't want to embarrass him, you know. I've got something for you.
His card.
Well, what makes you think that?
He knows he's for the chop.
He's been reading Gypsy Queen in horoscope in Financial Times,
You're
hasn't
not
he?
going to fire him, Ray.
Oh, what makes you think I'm
I'm
gonna...
telling you, you're not. My mum and dad can make fools enough of themselves without you helping them. You forgot why you took him on in first place?
Oh, come on, you can forget about that. That started life as a joke,
And
that
ended
did.
up in the Bobby station.
Look, I wouldn't sack Stan, you know that. But I can't account for my senior partner, Leonard Fairclough. He can be flaming ruthless, you know.
And so can I, sweetheart. Now, what is this?
Open it and see.
Now that is what I call a hotel.
Bit different from
Yeah.
this one. Oh, sorry, did you want your key?
Oh, no, we took it with us.
It's quite safe, though. It's in my handbag. That's all right. We've finished lunch, but if you like, I could get the chef to make
It's all right, miss. We're not very hungry.
Was there something else?
I suppose if we don't stay here the night, well, I suppose we'll still have to pay.
I'm awfully sorry, yes.
I still want to go home, John.
Hi, love. It's not that it's not a nice hotel. It's... well, it's...
No news.
Policeman said, suppose she decides to come home. It'd be as well if we was there.
We haven't unpacked yet, so we'll be down in a bit to pay you. Come on, love.
My God, makes me glad that my kids are still, well, kids.
It won't be in 10 years' time. You might be coming to a place like this looking for one of them.
Hey, what's the matter? You sound a bit of a mood. Cheer up.
They call it seeing life. You should hear some of the stories the travellers tell me about their broken marriages. Do you wonder why I fight shy of more responsibility?
No. But I still want to change you.
Jerry?
Oh, I'm sorry, but I think I've left my money in the house.
That's all right, love. Staff drink.
Well, I'm not staff.
From the brewery for people working on the premises.
Oh, well, thank you. I won't say it's not welcome.
Quite a nice idea, Mrs. Sharples.
Well, it wasn't my idea, it was everybody's idea.
Quite.
Buongiorno.
We've been eating Italian.
And has she turned into an eye-tie?
Oh, I see, you haven't got the towels up yet. Could I just have a half?
You've only just made it, Mr. Roberts.
I've been celebrating, Mrs. Sharples.
So I see.
You don't know why.
We do.
No, you don't. We do.
No, I won't.
No, you don't. Nobody cares.
Don't.
No. If you're tired or you're lonely or you're miserable, nobody cares. But if you die, they send a wreath so that people can read their names.
Well, this doesn't look like a wreath to me. It came shortly after you left, and it's got a foreign stamp on it.
Oh.
Aren't you going to open it?
Well, if you don't mind.
Well, just a minute. This isn't a wreath either, though it's been signed by all of us. It's a birthday card. And there's some bookshelves as well for them fancy books of yours. Only they're not bookshelves yet, but with the money we've collected, we're going to get Jerry Booth to make them.
Sorry, I don't know what.
I'll make her a cup of coffee.
It'll help wash that Chianti down.
Hey, where's me Auntie Annie?
In the back, looking after our Emily.
Thank goodness.
Now what doing?
Worse, they've stopped me door.
That means you've turned down too many jobs.
It wasn't the right jobs.
Now, what's that saying about beggars not...
Oh, all right, Mrs. Sharples, don't you lecture me. Get enough of that when I go through that door. Honest, I've never felt more like thumbing a lift to London in my life.
Well, in the long run, that's the hard way out, lass. The easiest way is to go through that door and face up to it.
I suppose you're right. Go on, tackle him.
All right, I'm going.
Well, go on
Well, don't
then.
shove, I'm going. Hang on. No.
Aye. Stan, Ogden.
Aye, lassie, your hellos, you. You're trying to get him the sack, aren't you, so as you can have his job?
Well, I'd better be getting off then, eh?
She's right, isn't she?
I don't think you deserve an answer to that question, Mrs. Ogden. Wait on, Mr. Roberts.
I'll walk down with you.
He's run away.
There's only one thing to do, isn't there?
What?
Have a pint.
Sorry, towels are just going on.
Huh?
Oh, well, shutting up time.
Oh, it's all right, Arthur. If any of the residents want to drink, I'll see to them.
I'll leave you to it. Shall I close the door?
Yes, yes, you can, if you like.
Anything the matter?
Oh, I don't know. Alone, that's how I feel. Alone and shut in.
Well, it shouldn't. You've got me.
Yes, got you.
Therefore, send not to us for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee.
Is that supposed to cheer me up? It doesn't.
Well, that's because you don't understand it. What it means is that you cannot possibly be alone because you're part of humanity. Whether you want to or not, you can't just opt out.
Mm. But you can avoid unnecessary responsibilities and risks.
Oh, yes.
You don't have to take things on.
Absolutely true. You don't walk down a busy street and you get run over walking down the next one. I mean, take those two who've just left. At least they've got each other for company, haven't they? I mean, Mrs. Robertson hasn't got to sit and worry about her daughter all on her own. She's got a husband to share her worries with her.
Yes, but if there hadn't been a Mr. Robertson, there wouldn't have been a daughter.
No, but then she would have been a lonely, sad old woman all on her own. You know, I'd rather be Stan Ogden with Hilda than Len Fairclough on his own.
You're very convincing, aren't you?
But not convincing enough.
Not quite.
Well, how about this for a convincing argument?
It's better than office equipment.
Or dog biscuits.